Man United have their own Houllier in Rangnick, but he faces similar issues. A thought has been fluttering around my head since Ralph Rangnick joined Manchester United, without ever settling. Then, when I watched his first press conference closely, it came to me. He is much like Gerard Houllier when he came to Liverpool in the late 90s. Same mannerisms, same studious schoolmaster air about him. Ralph even looks a little like him. And I don't think that's where the similarities end, because when it came to me, I realized that Manchester United are very much like our Liverpool team when Houllier arrived. They have got some brilliant players, and on their day they can beat anyone. They have been around the top four fairly consistently, but without ever truly challenging. They have a sound defensive record, but can be exposed at the back. Sound familiar? Yep, that just about describes our Liverpool team in the 90s. How will Rangnick fare in the Man United hot seat? Let us know in the comments section. I would say though, and I genuinely believe this, we were better than this United team is now, but we had similar weaknesses. I've looked back at our record when we were always up there, just behind United and Arsenal, and we always finished in the top four, but without ever coming close to a real challenge. I was surprised too, to see we were generally in the top three when it came to defensive record, often with less goals conceded than United, even when they were winning the damn thing. We had an attack too, that could destroy any team. So why didn't we win anything? I'd say it came to balance or a lack of it. We couldn't quite find a consistency between attack and defense. I think United have the same problem, and I think they reacted just as Liverpool did back in the 90s when they brought in Gerard Houllier. I'm not having a go at Troy Evans at all, because he was and is my favorite manager. He did great things for my career, and I probably had my best years under him. But there was always this stigma unfairly that he was somehow too nice. I don't even know what that is supposed to mean, but you get the impression the United board felt the same about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Again, I don't know if that's correct, but I think you can see that like my Liverpool team, there isn't the consistency, or direction, or balance. They don't get it right in all areas at the same time. Liverpool responded by bringing in Houllier. He brought in a schoolmaster approach, supposedly tougher and more disciplined. Rules, fines, beatings. Which has always been part of football, but not necessarily effective now, in the 21st century. I fell out with him, but not because of that, purely because I wanted to play more than I did. I could never get my head around being dropped. You get the impression Rangnick is like that too, and yes, it could work. But I do believe that to be successful in management these days, you have to be more collaborative, understand your players better. Maybe that's why Mourinho didn't work at Old Trafford, maybe that is why they went down the route of Solskjaer. Now it seems they thought he was too soft. I guess the hope is that Rangnick is somewhere in between. There seems to be an emphasis on younger players, but I think what will help Rangnick is to deliver a clear identity and a clear plan the players can buy into. I look at managers who have lost their job recently, and questions are often asked about their identity. My first question is always, did their players believe the manager had everything covered? That's the key to getting your players behind you and your philosophy. They want certainty, they want to know the preparation is spot on. They want to believe in their boss as someone who has everything under control. We were brought up on the old Liverpool philosophy of don't worry about your opponents, let them worry about you, but that is history now. You have to know the opposition, prepare for everything they might bring. Rangnick looks to be that manager, but to get the job permanently he has to solve a problem even Gerard Houllier didn't, despite the trophies he won at Liverpool. Find consistent balance in the team. It was good to see Steven Gerrard back at Anfield. I was there as a TV analyst, and it was a treat to see him as a fully fledged manager, even if he was plotting against our beloved Liverpool. I said in my main piece this weekend that the key to winning over players is to give them the feeling that everything is covered. Well, in that respect I don't think Steven Gerrard will struggle. In fact, I think he has a head start in his managerial career because I know him so well as a player who had everything covered. He was not a worrier as such, but someone who reflected on things, would not be afraid to self-analyze and be self-critical because he has always had this incredible desire to be the best he can. To improve, in fact, even when he was amongst the best in the world. Who was Liverpool's best player versus Aston Villa? Have your say below. He's not arrogant with it. He can relate to people of all levels and can listen and take advice on board because he always wants to improve. So you can be sure this season, whether Aston Villa are good enough or not to pursue a European place, they at least will be incredibly well prepared, will have everything covered before they go into matches. It's far too early to talk about him one day succeeding Jurgen Klopp. For a start, I believe Jurgen truly loves managing this great club, and he clearly loves managing his incredible group of players. So I can easily see him signing a new contract way beyond 2024. I don't think Steven is thinking about the job just now either, because he will be totally immersed and committed to making Villa the best they can be.